Hello, it's Kathryn Colas here from Simply Hormones. Do you know, I have some amazing conversations with women. They talk to me about everything and anything because they know I know so much about menopause. Having a chat with a friend of mine this morning, I knew she'd, what do you know about a prolapsed womb? That's what I want to talk about today. A friend of mine, I knew she had problems with a prolapsed womb. She's now 58. What's a prolapsed womb? It's when the uterus, the womb, or the muscles surrounding that can't hold it in place too well anymore, and it starts to sink down. It's the most strangest of feelings, and it's worse in some women than in others. And you can get it. You can get it after childbirth. I remember experiencing what I thought that was what it was after the birth of my first child, but I didn't tell anybody, because I wasn't sure, and you don't want to look a fool, do you? But it was the strangest thing, and it felt awful. I had it every month, every time I had a period. But of course I was young and fit, and I soon got over it. But your muscles tend to grow weaker with age, of course, and this happens. You get a prolapsed womb, your uterus starts to sink down and show out through the vagina. So we had a chat, Angie and I. She told me her story, and she said when she went to the GP surgery, she was referred to a specialist, and he offered surgery to cure it. She declined, and she was given a sheet of exercises to go away with. After the results of her examination had come through, the consultant didn't want to chat further to her, and neither did his assistant, and she was sent away with this exercise sheet. She was quite happy with that at the time because she didn't want surgery. Did the exercises, wasn't really doing very much, carried on as you do, and until eventually, 6 months later, she went back to her own GP surgery. Couldn't get an appointment with her doctor, but she said, anybody, I just want to see anybody about this, and ended up seeing a practice nurse. I love practice nurses. They just know so much about everything, and especially being women, they take a particular interest in women's issues. And so she had a long chat with the practice nurse and looked at the exercise sheet, and the practice nurse suggested that the exercises she was asked to do were perhaps not quite right for her age group. And she was concerned that nobody had spoken to Angie about the different things that are available to deal with a prolapsed womb outside of surgery. And for instance, you can have a physio and a vaginal ring fitted, which she knew nothing about. So she's now had the vaginal ring fitted, and wow, has that made a difference. She can't believe it. She said when she saw the vaginal ring, and I said the way she was describing it, it reminded me of the rubber ring that goes around the top of those Kilner jars, you know, those ones when you're trying to close a jar securely that you've got food inside. Anyway, it turns out that it's a thick, rigid, rubbery plastic ring that's whitish in colour. Doesn't look too pleasant, but it was inserted in a jiffy without any pain, and it felt a bit strange, obviously, at first, but uncomfortable, because you've got a foreign body, as it were, sitting there, but she soon got used to it. And she wonders why she had to go through 6 months of unnecessary torture. Only people tell us more information about these things, that they were more open. Okay, so the GP might not know too much about a prolapsed womb, but direct this woman to where she can get information. And why aren't the consultants giving this information? Is it always surgery? Women don't want it. Angie certainly couldn't afford to take any time off work. So there we have it, a new subject to bring out into the open. Let's all start talking about a prolapsed womb. Thank you for listening. Until next time, bye-bye.